everybody, Jane here, and I'm feeling a little under the weather today, so please forgive my raspiness. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about ghostwriting, particularly what is ghostwriting and what kind of people need a ghostwriter. I've been a ghostwriter now for about 4 years off and on. I started in 2014 and I quickly realized it was overwhelming and I quit for a while. About 6 months, 8 months in. I started again in 2016 and have been doing it regularly since. It is my part-time secondary job, and I really overall enjoy it. I've written a book about ghostwriting in case you want more information that I'm going to be sharing in this sequence of videos. You're welcome to check my book out. It is on Amazon, and at this time it's in Kindle Unlimited, so if you have Kindle Unlimited, it's even free to read. But enough about that. Let's talk about ghostwriting. So what is ghostwriting? Ghostwriting is when you write and don't get credit for it, basically. People hire me to write something, they tell me what it is they need written, I write it, and then they get the rights to it, and they get to publish it under their name. Why do people do that? Well, there's a lot of reasons. One is simply that sometimes they need content and they're not always able to produce enough content. I've worked for some bloggers who, they just needed more for their blog than what they were able to produce, or what they needed wasn't in the realm of what they normally were writing. Sometimes people want a book written, but they don't have the skill to write. To really become an expert at writing, you need to put in the time. And I've been writing for years and years and years. I understand how to unfold a scene. I understand how to control pacing. I understand all this stuff about how story works. And a lot of times people hire me because they don't. They've never done that kind of stuff. And they just don't have the skills. I do occasionally get people who hire me saying, "Oh, will you just write like the first chapter for me?" And if they do, I do, but usually they come back and decide that they need somebody to write the rest of it because they can see the difference in what they're writing and what I'm writing. So there's a lot of different reasons somebody might hire a ghostwriter. Another one is there are some people who publish on Kindle who are trying to have a high production but don't necessarily want to write every single book themselves, because writing a book is a lot of work. For me, it takes about 3 to 4 months to write a book, like a novel, 50,000 to 70,000 words romance, which is kind of slow compared to some online writers, but it's a lot of work and it's time consuming. And especially if you're trying a high production model of publication, sometimes you need more content than that. Also, sometimes you want something written that even if you're a writer, you don't have the skill to do. I've never written something that was solely action adventure, like a spy novel. And if I was going to, I probably would enlist the help of a ghostwriter just to help me with some of the scenes that I'm not too sure about. I'm not too sure how I would do a continuous amount of high action scenes. Sometimes people enlist a ghostwriter just for a few scenes. I've been hired before just to do romantic scenes because that is one of my specialties. Romantic or intimate scenes. And sometimes people have a great story and they're just not entirely comfortable writing those kind of scenes because they haven't done it before, and writing bedroom scenes can be tricky sometimes. So those are all the reasons, well, not all, but a lot of the reasons that people might hire a ghostwriter. And so the next question, I guess, would be, why would somebody want to become a ghostwriter if you're not getting paid or like getting royalties and having your name on it? And the quick answer of that is the pay. So basically, when I publish a novel, I never know for sure how it's going to do. Even if I invest in a great cover and great editing and some ads, the book may flop. I have a couple that just never really took off, and I don't understand why. And so there's no guarantees when you publish a book that you're going to make anything out of it. Whereas when you ghostwrite, you have a contract and you are going to get paid. I get paid by the word, about a penny a word. And no matter what happens, as long as I produce the content desired, it doesn't matter if they make money off of it. As long as I provide what they've asked, I do get paid. So it is kind of sure money, and it's upfront money. You know, if I'm earning royalties, it can take a long time to earn on a book. And sometimes it's nice to have cash on hand. And especially a lot of what I'm writing is not stuff that I expect is going to be a big seller. Like, I've never written anything for somebody and been like, oh man, I'm really missing out on that. You know, I've written some great stuff, but definitely stuff that I wouldn't have probably written myself, and stuff that I wouldn't know how to market. And that can be another thing. Sometimes people are really good at the publishing and marketing, but they're not so good at the writing. And they have great ideas, they know what books sell, but they just don't have the ability to write it themselves. And I love helping people. I love working as a ghostwriter. I love bringing people's ideas to life, whether it's for personal use, because I do a lot of personal use stuff too. I have mothers who have children who are dealing with a complicated issue, and they'll hire me to write a children's story to help their specific child through their issue. I mean, been hired for all kinds of things. So it really has expanded who I am as a writer. It's given me a lot of experience I wouldn't have already had. And it's also helped me get out of my comfort zone, because a lot of what I'm writing isn't stuff that I would normally write as a romance writer. And again, the upfront money is great, and just the skills and everything I'm earning with it has been tremendous. Now I will say I'm not planning to continue ghostwriting full time, or I'm not trying to expand that, I guess is what I'm saying. At one point I was ghostwriting pretty full time, but I've changed kind of my business model. I want to start doing my books more often. So I'm not taking a lot of new clients at this point, almost no new clients. I'm finishing up the projects I have with current clients, and once those clients are done, at the point that none of the clients I have want any more content, I'll probably close up shop, just because it is, and we'll talk about some of the downsides of being a ghostwriter later, but it can infringe a little bit on your other writing. But if you're learning, and if you want to learn and you want to make some extra money, it's a great place to start. So I will link my ghostwriting book to the video, and if you enjoyed this video, please hit like, and if you'd like more content, please hit subscribe. And this is Jane, and I'll see you later. Bye.